All right, jumping right in with another voiceover. You know what it is. This time, Luca's here again, and also joining us is my buddy Michael there on the left. Michael's got some MMA experience, and he's pretty good at kicks, so he's helping me out with some advice and stuff over the course of this session. Me and him get some rounds in too, which are good for me. So I get that experience with someone who's a little bit more MMA minded. But here's me and Luca right now. And yeah, I guess let's see what goes down here. Adjusted my pad right there. It was kind of slipping down off of my calf. So one thing that I notice I struggle with is, in MMA specifically, is figuring out how to utilize my boxing in that, because I'm so preoccupied with the new threat that is legs to me that I don't really, well, that was the sloppiest takedown ever, but I struggle to figure out where to fit in my punches because I'm so focused on legs because I'm not used to having to deal with them. I like how Luca traps my arms using his legs and his arms when he's on bottom there. So Michael's telling me to circle out, which, I mean, I get even worse at doing later in the footage. This isn't my first time watching it through this time. I drop my hands quite a bit. I wish that I had the confidence, or at least lack of fear, to slide in when Luca lifts one of his legs up. Slide in and go for a sweep or a takedown. I gotta figure out how to get good at sweeps. Maybe I gotta do some drilling. I guess that would be the correct course of action. There's a head kick that landed pretty good right there. If he would have actually kicked me like hard, then that would have been a problem. I'm hanging out with my hands pretty low, and I'm not circling. I'm just moving forwards and backwards and thinking I can metronome my head back and forth just like boxing, but it's not quite that simple. Well, that was just a failed check on my part. I lifted my leg up. I didn't turn it out. So one tool that I use that oh, that was stupid of me. Man, that was dangerous. Yeah, one tool that I use that I find I like and I should develop more is switching stance just to get my lead leg out of the way of a kick. So taking a step back with the lead leg and switching stance. Michael's pretty good at landing kicks. He gives me a lot of warning shots like that, like, hey, I could have just kicked you in the face. So right here, we run out of the shot a little bit, but I try to help you guys out by utilizing the mirror angle to show what's going on a little bit. Apologies for the poor camera angle choice. This is stupid of me, but if you saw in the mirror, I swung a little spinning back kick there, but I just didn't really like how I turned my back in those close quarters. I think since it was that close, a spinning back elbow would have been better, but obviously I'm not going to throw that in sparring. But hopefully I would think about that if we were actually in a fight. Who knows, though? Maybe I wouldn't. I didn't think about it until now. So I'm not looking much at him when I'm rolling right there. I don't really like that. I got to keep my eyes up a little bit more, even though I am trying to keep my chin down. That was a good kick. I don't remember if that Don't remember if that hurt me or not. There was one leg kick that landed on the outside of my knee that I was like, damn. So I'm coming in with my hands down, like the hand that's not throwing punches, that one's down too. So I got to work on that, because that's pretty dumb. Luca's telling me to trust my boxing, but, you know, like I said, I'm very preoccupied by the legs in these MMA sparring rounds. Still trying to figure things out and get comfortable in there. So hopefully I get better at utilizing my punches. But, you know, it takes time, so we just keep getting these rounds in. I'm trying to get as much sparring in as I can without injuring myself or anything like that.
Heavy low kick, nice. Make sure you snap it back though. Step in on that low kick, throw it to his thigh. No, don't fake it.
Ooh, man, he would have caught me right there. See, I gotta keep my fucking hands up, man. I'm pissing myself off.
There you go. Wrong person, but you get it.
Swinging my arms all around, man, that was goofy. All right, another round with Michael. Those side kicks are cool. I like those. So here I ask Michael if me using my hand to block that is a bad idea. And he tells me that sometimes it is a bad idea. I might just want to instead circle to the outside, to the back side, like that.
You don't stop a side kick by going in front of it. Right. Because there's too much behind it. Yeah. I can't block that.
So watch this. I thought that was kind of funny. We were talking about these side kicks, and then he went ahead and threw me off guard. It was a good setup, no doubt. So I wish I would duck to the other side after I've already ducked to the same side like twice in a row. So I kind of like how I threw that switch kick and then followed through with it too. I think that was probably me channeling Jeff Chan a little bit. I got a circle to the outside right there, man. Oh, okay, so there's a decent placed spinning back kick on my part. Not a ton of force behind it, but I'm not really trying to throw force behind him in sparring because that would suck. I don't want someone to do that to me. When those things land to the body, man, that's really tough. There's me turning my back to him almost. Taking a couple body shots, trapping the hand. Okay. Not bad, not ideal. That side kick landed pretty good. Pushed him back. Landed on his hip. Wasn't like a damaging kick, just pushed him back. So I might have jumped in a little bit early there. Almost ate a spinning back kick. So that one landed on his leg. Kind of just pushed him a little bit. Not super effective. Probably got to lift that up and just focus on pushing against the body or the hip. Back in there with Luca. So that kick, I remember specifically, I tried to lift his leg a little bit, throw his stance off. So I could see that two coming from that two to the body that I threw. I could see that coming a mile away. I really got to work on throwing like a feint in there. So that speaks to it, because I moved to the right side like I was gonna throw it again, and he went ahead and stopped me with a kick. So. Stopped me from advancing that time pretty effectively with that kick. I got to start using more feints against Luca, because he's pretty reactive to attacks and stuff. Like, I notice he'll move his hands a good bit when I throw. So if I use more feints, I might be able to open up some more openings. I also got to stop leaving stuff open myself. I was looking at the ground for a second there when I threw that. Uh-oh. And I guess for a second there, I forgot that he had the option to just mount me, and I was like, yeah, maybe he'll just let me back up. But then ended up having to deal with this. But I managed to catch my breath here for a second. I tend to focus on my breathing in this situation. I faked the sweep to one direction and then flipped him over other way. Tried to pull a little bit of ground and pound. Almost got my legs caught up there. And we stand back up, and we're both exhausted now. And that's all it takes to really exhaust you if you don't have that MMA experience. So all of a sudden having to work on the ground under all that pressure and that kind of holding and pulling and pushing and trying to be explosive, it's a lot. It drains you. So here we are. We agreed to slowly kind of stand against each other toe to toe and just kind of see what transpires. But he goes for a little takedown, and I take this as an opportunity to practice my sprawl. And I end up deciding to try to control him here. Michael tells me to go knee on belly. I don't know what I'm doing, so I put the wrong knee up, and then by then it's too late to salvage that. But round was over anyway. But then Michael goes ahead and he shows me what he meant, and this is some good advice in terms of body control on the ground. So Mike's giving me a little bit more advice right here, just about opportunities to step to the inside in an MMA kind of situation. Because in boxing, if you saw my first sparring video, my boxing sparring video, you'll notice it's easy for me to get to the inside, super easy, because I'm not afraid of getting kicked. But Michael's suggesting that I step to the inside and keep the lead leg of my opponent on the outside of me. That way I can cut to the inside without too much worry in an MMA situation. So this is just a boxing round with Luca. And just like last time, I'm slow to warm up to my typical boxing skills. Because I had spent the last few rounds thinking about being kicked so much and very preoccupied by leg stuff. But I slowly start to warm up a little bit, land a couple things, still making stupid mistakes here and there. I want to keep my hands a little higher. Managed to stick them with a good jab there. So I'd rather I circle there instead of moving back twice. Maybe take one big step back and then step to the side a couple times. So he throws a little combo on me there. Michael tells me to not just move back, but to circle. So Luca's getting a little tired there. You can see he dropped his guard. catches me there. So I'm moving to the outside with my lead hand down. So his lead hand had that opening.
Now you're making him move back with that jab. Keep that going. All right, now put that jab and move in. You see that open stance coming. Put it with the body.
I stuck him with a lead right or a right jab there while I was in southpaw.
Again, it's been working. He's gone on his back foot. No one that's happening.
So I'm running to the outside there and punching him from the outside. His backside. Stuck him with a jab there, I believe. Body shot, hook to the face. Typical. Managed to duck one, circle out, and then get hit with another. And turning my back to him, kinda. Michael's telling me to fire back, which is, yeah, I should be doing that, man. I start to get a little scared when big boys running me down, but, you know, it's whatever. I'll get used to it.
Michael, give me advice while I'm up here with him, because I don't know what to do with myself.
So here I ask Michael for some advice up top, because this is where I struggle the most with Luca.
Your lead hand stays down, your back hand places solid, right? Okay.
I'm pretty sure I still don't succeed in our grappling round here in it. Taking him down, pretty sure he does all of the taking down. It's usually how it goes. So there's a failed, crappy attempt at like sliding in for a single leg. Here he's trying to darce me. And then he switches sides, tries to darce me on that side. I'm not thinking it's tight enough. I don't really, it's not enough for me to want to tap or anything. I'm still thinking I can escape. Pretty much give him my back because honestly I'm more comfortable in working from that position. I feel like I can slip out of his grip in that position easier than when he's got me in like that darce position with his weight on top of me like that. And this is me trying to kind of get over to side control very lazily and sloppily as I'm also talking to Michael because he's heading out. Talking about our plans for tomorrow.
I launched myself too. That's a stupid thing.
So I try to pull Luca forward right there by the back of his arms in order to, I wanted to get a guillotine. I wanted to pull him forward so his head was close to me so I could grab his neck, but I end up climbing on top of him right here and watch as soon as I put my leg over, he reverses it. Boom, that was good timing. And then he pushes on my face a little bit, but that don't bother me too much. I'm trying to find a spot to get my hand around his neck here. Not quite having the angle. So I'm trying to figure out what I can do. Trying to create the angle. He's keen to it. He knows what's going on, so we agree we don't want to stop until we get a sub, until someone gets a sub. He's trying to figure out what he can do with my legs. I decide it's probably easier for me to get away if I flip my feet upside down and roll over and pull him out. So I do that. I try to pull him to the ground right there. It doesn't work. We're both pretty sweaty, so trying to grab someone's wrist, it's really slick. I try to get a takedown there. He's too heavy and sprawls, and I can't do anything about it. So he's got me right here. I try to roll, fail. Then I half succeed, break his grip. I go for a something tomorrow, kinda, not really. He's full mount. he tried to kick me away. I hung onto his leg like I was hanging onto like a fucking tree or something in a tornado. I try to take the back, try to slide around there. He tries to flip me over, succeeds partially. I say, fuck it, let's just get back on there. Swing back around, things get a little dicey. All of a sudden it turns up for a second. I get flipped over. Playing the fast game right now. He's putting that pressure on me. He thinks that the GoPro didn't catch it, but I believe we were in frame the whole time. Now we're both pretty tired again. Pretty tired, but never too tired. So I tried to get a single leg there. I always fail, man. I always fail on these single. I got to stop going for single legs on him because I think his legs are long enough that if one lifts up and the other's on the ground, like I can't lift it up high enough to get the other one off the ground. So I need to get double legs, grab both of them. He's putting the pressure on me here, and I know it, so I slow myself down, just focus on breathing through my nose and wait for an opportunity here. I try to flip over. Doesn't work, go in that direction. Fail again. Try going the other way. Can't do anything there. I don't have a lot of jiu-jitsu training really, just a few months, a couple years ago, so I don't have a lot of that muscle memory for what to do in those kind of situations and stuff, so I just try stuff and see what works. But here I managed to get in half guard, starting to get a little bit of control back. Able to swing it into full guard right there. This is where I start to find some success. So I find an arm, swing myself over, start pulling on it. Pretty awkward angle, as you can see there for him. So he was able to hang on to it, but he felt like it was slipping. And he explains that it wasn't worth it to him to see if his grip was going to slip and his arm was going to get cranked out. So he figured tap instead of potentially injuring himself or letting me injure him. I didn't even realize he had a grip on that. I thought that he was just using his bicep strength to stop me from pulling his arm out there.
No, thank you.
Damn it, bro.
Yeah, fuck Lace and Loop. I had that product for less than 20 days, and within the first use, actually, one side broke, and second one not long after, as you can see there in the video. Drink egg whites.